the previous period, the company has reduced the selling prices. But unless the company reduces selling price to the certain extent, the growth volume will not be there. By reducing the price, they are increasing the volume, but what is the profitability? Whether the profit is also growing simultaneously. Those things we will be able to compare. And income received includes interest, dividend on investment, scrap sales, on all those activities. So the gross profit will be giving us by operating in the business how much profit is generated. On the other hand, net profit will be giving us what is the other income also added and other expenses also deducted, including the dividend payment, tax payment, and all those things are deducted. So when you are seeing the profit and loss account or income statement, just look for what is the turnover, what is the direct cost and direct expenses, and how much gross profit they are generating, and what are all the fixed expenses which is coming below trading account, and how significant those fixed expenses, and what will, if there is a change in turnover reducing, will the fixed expenses, as the fixed expenses will not be changing, so what will be the impact? So gross profit and net profit and operating profit will be giving us the picture how best they are using their economic resources. Same way, the balance sheet gives us the assets and liability position, how much they have borrowed in the long term, how much they have borrowed in the short term, and whether they are able to meet the current requirement by the current assets. Maybe they may be having the huge inventory. To converting the inventory into cash, they have to sell it on credit. The debtors will be paying after some time. The buyers will be paying after some time, so that the period will be longer. On the other hand, if the current asset consists of more of receivable, more of bank and cash balances, the company is highly liquid. So that analysis we should be able to make whether it will be able to meet all its immediate requirements by realizing from the normal operations. So whole thing we can summarize as what is the income in the current period, which is going into the balance sheet, assets and liabilities, which will be again reflected in cash flow. What is the operating cash flow, and what is the net results of investment, and what is the net result of financing. Investment, they may be buying the new asset, or they may be selling the assets which they are may not be in use, may not be required. Even most of the companies are what they are doing today is they are selling and leasing it back, so that their operations are not hindered. They are able to generate cash by selling the old assets. The reason is that they would have got the assets long time before. Assume the company which has started in 1950, they would have bought the land and the buildings at 1950 price. Today the price has increased more than thousands of times. So if they are able to sell, they are able to generate huge cash in which they will be able to invest and generate more profit and diversify also. In the same time, if you are leasing back for 99 years, the cash flow will be less, so they will be having operating inflow. So what all the equation will be? We always say that for every debit there is a corresponding credit, so the assets and the liabilities will be equal. The liability includes owner's equity also. As a business is concerned, business we are treating as a separate entity, so that whatever the proprietors has invested, they have to repay back. So it's treated as a liability in this one, but it belongs to the shareholders when calculating the net worth, the total share capital or the owner's investment plus accumulated profit and reserve. Why we need interpretation of the statement? For interpreting the statement, we don't have to, the non-finance executive need not have what is a debit, what is a credit, what is a bank reconciliation and all those aspects. They need to know only what is a income statement reveals, what is a balance sheet reveals, whether the company is having adequate cash flow. So the statements are passive. Unless we analyze and get the numbers, we will not know its position. That is why interpretation is required. When we are comparing the balance sheet of 2-3 years, whether the company has injected more assets or the liability has gone up, and what is impact of net worth, whether the owner's equity, owner's position has gone up because of the accumulated profit and accumulated reserve. Same way, whether short-term liability has increased or long-term liability has increased, what is the asset position? Again, the assets we are taking here at the book value, not on today's market price for the non-current fixed assets. So that while we are analyzing, we have to take into account what is the contents of non-current assets and fixed assets. Comparative income statement, how the sales volume is growing, whether the sales volume is growing, according to that whether profitability is increasing, whether expenses are increasing in direct proportion to the sales volume. Only certain expenses, what are all the variable costs, will be increasing according to sales volume. The other expenses which are all fixed or semi-variable in nature will not be increasing because it's based on time. The example will be electricity charges, telephone charges, rent, security and administration expenses. Those things will not be increasing in terms with the sales volume. Only certain expenses like purchase price and processing costs, those things will be will be increasing in direct proportion to production and sales. So how the income statement, how it is volume and how the gross profit and net profit changes for each increase or decrease in sales volume. The common size balance sheet, we are taking everything into the percentages, so that last year what is the percentage, current year what is the percentage. So by analyzing the cash flow, we will be able to have what is the impact in strategy of changing our policy. For example, the company at present extending 30 days credit to all their buyers. If they are increasing to 45 days, the sales volume will go up, the receivable will be increasing. On the receivable, they have to get funds. On that, the interest cost will be there, and there may be some bad debts also. On the other hand, on the increased sales volume, what will be the profit? That profit, whether it is comparing with whatever the interest and other expenses they are going to incur. So that impact will be able to analyze on long term as well as short term. So what will be the downstream cash flow for each decision? If the company wants to decrease the inventory, what will be the impact? If they are decreasing the inventory, the storage cost is less, the interest burden will be less, so that the company will be able to have more profitability. Same way, if they are able to have the supply chain management and the just-in-time approach, what impact it will be having on cash flow and profitability. So whether it's a small business or medium business, they have to do their strength, weakness and opportunity and threat analysis on the market and the product and how the pricing will be. How the technology changes will have an impact on the company's product and profitability. Assume the company is today adopting a technology which it is able to market it. Today, magic will become tomorrow's technology. 10 years before, we have not seen so much updation in information technology or internet or even mobile. 15 years before, mobile is just few. Today, everyone is without mobile, we are unable to even move around. So mobile and the laptop giving us all the information. Today, if you want to book a ticket, we are just going to the laptop. We don't go and stand in the queue. So all those gives us opportunity. Yesterday's magic has become today's technology. The technology should be a enabler for including ERP, how the companies can make the decision, including small and medium enterprises. They have to use the information technology to maximize their revenue and profitability. And the ratio, as I was saying, it is giving us the information, what is the position, what the accounting numbers, and it is compressing data into on a form where we are able to relate it to the previous year, to the industry and the unit, so that we will be able to make comparative performance and analysis. And the ratios are profitability ratios, turnover ratios, which is giving various information. So the ratios composition, we need not have technical background of debit and credit. With the whatever the numbers available in the balance sheet, by dividing we will be able to get all this information. So whether the revenue is efficiency, asset efficiency, business profitability, how the shareholders returns are growing, those aspects. And again, as I said, if you are able to reduce your operating cycle by reducing the inventory, by reducing the debtor, you will be able to manage it. Take the example of Nano. Tata is able to produce the car at cheaper price because all their accessory suppliers are in the same place. So they need not hold any inventory. Whenever they need the production, just in time they are able to get the processes, and the whole supply chain management, they are, by reducing the transport cost, inventory holding cost and interest burden, they are able to reduce the operating cycle, by in their cost is able to get reduced. So cost efficiency is today no longer a business, it is fast changing. Today the competition, in the competition today price level will be decreasing to a large extent. Other way, as I was saying, today you can buy a laptop for 20,000. After 6 months, the price will be going down. How you are going to be competitive? In any of the businesses, one, technologically you can compete, or by reducing the price you can compete, or providing the service like the airlines, banking and telecom, you have to provide the quality service at reduced cost. So a comprehensive cost approach will be required so that you are able to be in the market and have a high growth. The message is you have to look behind the financial accounting information, the need to look behind cost accounting beyond what is available in the numbers, so that you are able to get the customers profitability, product profitability, segment profitability and the division profitability, especially customer profitability, whether you are supplying to the large customers or medium customers, to the companies or the individuals. If it is the individuals, how we are going to have a growth. Careful analysis of exiting activity related to competitors can pinpoint cost reduction opportunities by lowering the input cost, asserting sale economies and volume, so that you are able to be competing and using your capacity utilization better. Given the multiple drivers of relative cost, strategic cost management implies multiple initiatives, different organizations must seek opportunities in all aspects, not only in particular what is the product you are making, how your competitor is making the product, because the competition is today invisible. Anyone can enter into any area. Today there is a way that the internet is doing the business on any activity. In fact, we used to say that by downloading in the Airtel is able to sell more music than the music manufacturers. So the competition is invisible, so we should be able to have a dynamic impact in all the activities and have a success. Best wishes. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. Thank you. Good day.
Request Mr. Raju Iyer to please stay back on stage. I kindly request Group Captain Vijay Kumar to present a memento on behalf of Madras Management Association. Thank you, sir, for having taken your time and being present here.